right. Hello, everyone. Turnover Carbon here. The day that dozens of us have been waiting for has arrived. Football Coach College Dynasty is officially launched. For those who were not aware, that made it worse. This game has been in early access for almost 2.5 years. And it has finally launched. My previous save, the coaching career at Purdue and then Clemson, is finished. It is all fully live. You can find all of the VODs on YouTube in a nice little playlist. They're organized under the same name, Turnover Carbon. But with the launch, now I wanted to start a new career, and that is what we will be doing. First, though, if anyone has this game on Steam or is interested, there has been an update posted talking about things that were added with the official release. The big one is Steam achievements that you have to get by starting a new save. So for those of you that already have a save going prior to launch, you are going to have to start a new one in order to get achievements. Second one is Trophy Room. This is something that I personally requested in the Discord, me and many others, that there be some sort of screen where we can better see what we all accomplished as the coach, because previously everything got kind of condensed. And if you got, let's say, multiple ACC championships, it would only say the most recent year. So this is a welcome change. Similarly, you now have a legacy score, so you have a physical number that will be generated based on, how many championships you win, how many times you get to the playoffs, etc., etc., and then general improvement to things like, making sure that you can better see a player's potential, durability, etc., on their little splash page, and then the full list of changes is down here below. But if you are interested in college football sort of video games that are less so, the Madden, sort of playing the players, and you want to do a more management side, I highly recommend Football Coach College Dynasty. It is an amazing game. Now, first, a little housekeeping note. As you could kind of see in the screenshots I showed, the base game does not have the official team logos for licensing reasons. If you do want those, there is a very easy way to do it. When you load up a game, actually, I'll just do it right now, you'll be prompted to go to the Steam workshop. In that workshop, at the tippy top of the mods, you will see something called JeffMod FBS Universe. This has the current alignment of conferences, with the exception of some of the Big Ten schools being in the Pac-10 in that universe, just to clean some things up. So if you want real schools with the real names, easiest way to do it, go to the Steam workshop and download this JeffMod FBS universe. That will have everything you need, and that is the mod, quote unquote, or the database that I am using. Hence why you will see at the top Kent State instead of just Kent, which is what it would be in the base game. Actually, I don't even believe Kent State is in the base game. So for those of you that are new to Football Coach College Dynasty, you're new to my channel, welcome. It's a very in-depth game. Some of the things I can't show right off the bat because they're locked at this stage. But my plan today is I'm just going to run through what is essentially the off season. We're going to get through installing our game plan, the spring and summer months, recruiting, setting our team up, our playbook, all that jazz. And then I will hopefully get to the first game today, which, since the AI does the whole schedule for the first year, we are playing against Stanford in the first week, so we might lose by 40 points. But that can all wait. Um, I have created my coach. I decided to run the pistol offense similarly because I've done every other type of offense in this game, and I wanted to try the pistol playbook out. And then I essentially randomized the run first, 4-3 defense, aggressive man, etc. So I chose Kent State because they're one of the worst schools in the game in terms of prestige, which is the little um, star number right there. But they're not so terrible, like, say, a Kennesaw State, where I'll have no chance at winning football games. This is the position changes. This is where if I want to change anyone's positions, I can. I went through this sort of off stream just to save time and found that no, there's really no one. Not even the classic like safety corner switch, which I debated for a guy like actually Landon. I will move. I'm vetoing my old self. I am going to move Landon Gooden to corner, and then the other one I had written down was a linebacker in Braden Coley. I just wanted to check his numbers. Yeah, he's worse. Okay, that is that. All right, so we're just going to advance past position changes and get to the off-season gains. Something I do like about this game is how the development works, where what you have your players train throughout the preseason, what you have them practice throughout the season, you will see payoff in the offseason in what specific attributes are developed. Unfortunately, that's hard for me to show because we have not done any practices or trainings. All right, so obviously, oh no. Minus? How many hours do I have in this game? Let me just pull up really quick. Da, 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 da. I have 150 hours in this game. I have never seen a minus, which means that is new for the launch, and suddenly I am very afraid. Oh boy. Well, on that bombshell, quarterback. So our starting quarterback this year is this gentleman, Ty Hawkins, solely for the reason that he has 90 speed. His IQ, thankfully, got a big boost. His arm strength didn't move. His accuracy didn't really move. All that is fine. He's going to be our starting quarterback from this year. After him, we don't really have a succession plan. Our QB room isn't great. Giovanni Ramsey is the second best option we got, and he's fine. But I don't love the idea of going from redshirt senior to having to find another guy. So that I do kind of have to figure out. Running back, there are three players I really, really like. First of all, Kylan Baxter, who is very OP for Kent State. I do not know how they got him, but congrats to them for doing so. His evasion is a 98. His ball care vision is a 90. He's also a great pass blocker. He'll do just fine. Our backup is also redshirt senior Esteban Coates, who has 102 ball security. So if he fumbles at any point during the season, we will object wholeheartedly. The bad news with Mr. Coates here is his speed went down by 2. So he is a power back and will be our, short down back, goal line back. But if he's ever seen the ball at 2nd and 10, we might be in trouble. And then the guy who's going to be third, even though he is a worst overall, is Isaiah Simmons. I have half a mind to redshirt him, solely because his speed isn't great, his ball care vision isn't great, but his ball security is solid. He's decently strong. So what I may end up doing is redshirting him. The problem that runs into is he is a sophomore with pretty good potential, so there is a risk he wants to transfer if he doesn't play. And so I may just give Jeremiah Carr those third running back reps. We'll see. Wide receiver, we're doing a pistol offense, so we're not going to be throwing the ball that much. We're going to be doing it more than, say, if we just did the option. Overall, our receivers are pretty much on a similar level. Miles Johns is the best. He has 104 speed. He is lightning quick. He's going to be our kickoff and punt returner. He's got really good catching, really good route running. Other than that, all three of these guys, Hunter Crane, Andres Irving, and Henry Malev, are about on the similar level, to the point where whoever gets the most playing time is just going to be who does the best over the first couple weeks. Behind that, our wide receiver depth isn't great. Isaiah Giron, who we see down here, he is definitely going to redshirt. His speed went down, which again, a little bit annoying. But he just needs time. He's got a potential, so I'm really happy with that. Looking at tight ends, I love our tight end room, especially for our level at Kent State. Cody Lopez, 83 overall, 85 catching, done, sold. Davion Dunlap, 77 overall, 79 catching, 82 route running, sold. Our third stringer, Andre Rutherford, can't really catch, but he's got solid blocking, solid strength for this level. We need that. Ty Bunch, unfortunately, is just going to be the awkward odd man out at a tight end. But he's got really good catching. He's got decent speed. So our tight end room, good. O-line room makes me want to weep and then die, especially compared to what I just got done having at Purdue and Clemson. We have Alfredo Mullen, who's overall decreased. And it looks like that was really only because his strength went down by 2. And like his speed didn't move, his pass blocking didn't really move. But he's got 95 run block and 88 strength. I can't complain about that. We have a decent couple of linemen behind him, but the problem, again, that I think you always run into in the first year of a save is all your best guys are going to be seniors. Your second best guys are going to be juniors. That's just kind of way the setup works. So within 2 years, my 6 best O-linemen are going to be gone, and I don't really have great depth behind him. A guy I really like is Brandon Peoples. He is definitely going to redshirt because he can't block. But what he does have is A-plus potential, and his run block already went up by 5. So if it keeps going up by 5 every year, we're in business. D-line, or excuse me, kicker. Can't forget the kicker. My succession plan at kicker is pretty much set. This year we have Maxwell Welsh, who is more accurate than he is powerful. But in this game, you want accuracy because the majority of your kickers are going to be inconsistent from about 45 yards plus. So accuracy is what you really, really need. He's got accuracy down pat. The backup, Skylar Nakamura, really needs another year of development. I'm going to try to redshirt him, in all honesty. He'll probably want to transfer. We'll just see. And so Kai Gamble is going to be my backup. And if he ever has to kick a field goal, it's going to miss. D-line, I think, on balance, is our best defensive position, both in terms of the guys up top and our depth. Jay Pierce up top is a bruiser, 96 strength, 85 block shed, 91 tackling. He'll do just fine. Jack Hilton behind him, even better, 93 strength, 90 block shed. He can't tackle, but who cares? He can get past the O-line. That's all I really need. Caden Cruz is going to be our third D lineman. He's got 88 strength, 75 tackling. Pretty good group up front. And then Rowan Seals is also going to see a decent amount of playing time because he's already redshirted. And so at this point, I need to get him playing time or else he will likely want to transfer. And if he leaves, my top 3 D linemen graduate, we're in trouble. Linebacker is our worst defensive position. It's not particularly close. Isaiah Reynolds is, in theory, our number 1. He is 89 tackling. That's about it. He's not particularly quick, so he's going to get burned in coverage whenever he has to cover in zone. Devin Stewart, similar. He has 79 speed, though. Not the worst thing in the world. He's a little more well-rounded. I might honestly start Devin Stewart at 1. Andy Meyer, who, as you can see, his potential went down 2 levels, which is just painful. He's a little more well-rounded, so there is a world where Isaiah Reynolds, despite being our best linebacker in terms of overall, would be like our third linebacker in the depth chart. The depth is okay down here in the freshman, sophomore. I like 4 of these guys are probably going to redshirt. just to make up a difference. I'm really curious as to how the AI spit out a junior linebacker who had a 60 overall before this. Corner is our probably second best room. I kind of like it a little bit more than D line. The depth isn't as solid, but up top, I mean, 89 man, 82 zone, 101 speed at Kent State. Thank you, sir. Knowing my luck, he'll leave for the draft after a year. Aaron Rene behind him is even more well rounded. He's got good IQ, not as quick, but that's fine. Avery Brookins behind him can't cover zone at all. So he'll probably be our slot guy with 96 man. Malachi Patton, also better man. You're sensing a theme. Brody Cheney, also better at man. We're not going to be running a lot of zone coverage. Even our two corners that say they're better at zone, Rodrigo James has 7 better man, and Aaron Rainey only has 3 better zone, and his zone did not move in this development. His man went up by 3. So we're doing a lot of man coverage. Safety room makes me want to cry. There's no way around it. In my previous save at Clemson, I made the switch from 4 safeties to 3 safeties, and I think it benefited me. I'm going to be doing that here out of necessity. Tanner Crane up top isn't bad. He's really more of a corner, but the reason I didn't move him to corner is he would have been like a 78 overall corner. And at that point, I'd rather play the redshirt sophomores down here. So he's just going to be a really good coverage corner up top. Brendan Carlisle is going to be our tackler. He's going to be our bruiser. And then Brandon Ogden, I don't really want to play, to be honest. I'd rather give those reps to Preston Vaughn, who's just a big hitting guy. He's worse in coverage. But it might be worth it to give him the reps, unless I redshirt him. But if I redshirt him, I have 0. Well, yeah, I'm kind of in trouble if I don't redshirt him, but we'll see. All right, let's save advanced game plan. So the 2 coordinators that the game generated for me, my offensive coordinator, Oscar Stahl, had a preference for the pistol, which is good, and run heavy, which doesn't quite match mine, but it is what it is. Defensively, Hayden Madrano, who, again, 4-3 scheme, just like me, and balanced man. So I'm kind of losing out a bit there. When in doubt, I defer to just my preferences over my coordinators because coordinators, they're more likely to leave me. Though interestingly, in the notes on the Steam update, one of the minor improvements at the end was make it so the user team will lose the coordinators to other teams slightly less often, which is good because at a point in Clemson, I was replacing my guys every year. I'm not really going to mess with the game plan yet. I usually do that after the spring and summer windows, and I can just see who our sort of best guys are. One thing I will do, a lot of this doesn't matter because I'll be physically choosing the plays and simming them. The primary pass targets, just based on who I got. Miles Johns is going to be number 1, and Kylan Baxter out of the backfield is going to be number 2. As is our want. Currently, roster-wise, you can see the sort of summary of all the overalls. Our worst traits are our pass protection and our zone coverage, which the latter isn't that bad because we're going to do man coverage more often than not. Being the worst thing at pass pro does kind of hurt. That'll probably lead me to do a lot more quick passes. It does also hurt any run pass options we do, but that just is what it is. We are the best at stopping the run and man coverage, which is probably on balance 2 of the best ones to have, especially for the defense that I want to run. But overall, for the Mac, this isn't too shaky. All right, let's save in advance. One thing I have noticed, just from looking around the Discord, seeing some of the more recent feedback, and it does seem that with the most recent, like 2 or 3 updates, the advanced week times have increased a little bit. Do keep in mind the advanced week times are also a little longer because I'm using sort of a modded database, quote unquote, that does increase the file size. All right, so this is spring and summer months. This is where you do 3 things. One, you can do trainings for specific players. Two, you can do practices to determine sort of what kind of plays you want to run, what you want to hit, and you can do recruiting. Practice, I'm going to be honest, I hit auto practice every single time. It's just a preference thing. If you, let's say, run an option playbook and you know that you're doing a power option and a triple option more often than not, load those in manually. But for me, I just let the sort of AI work with it and I can kind of just see, what plays work really well. That's all a matter of preference. Training, similar idea. If you want to go in and say, hey, Ty Hawkins, his accuracy is good, but his arm strength needs a little bit of work. I can go in and say, okay, work on your arm strength, buddy. And if he has a breakthrough, his arm strength will go up by 3. If you want to do that for certain big players, like let's say, we just watched Alfredo Mullen get negative overall and his pass block needs work. I'll be like, okay, let's work on your pass block, buddy. Let's see if we can get a breakthrough. And we do, goes up by 3. You can sort of manage it that way. I, outside of a few main ones, just do auto assign training and it'll give you pretty simple ones for what it wants. Now, before I get to recruiting, let's make my depth chart look all pretty. First, I would recommend clicking this button at the bottom where bench players with major injury. That means if a player gets a major injury, they will automatically be removed from the depth chart. The reason that's good is if you don't do that and you're not, looking at your depth chart or looking at your snap percentage, there's a chance that a guy with a concussion or a broken leg will end up playing and could potentially be out for the season. The other thing I like to do is change my backup stuff. So for me, I don't want my backups coming in the third quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, if we're up by 24, put them in. And then in the last 5 minutes, if we're up by 15, put them in. I don't think that will be happening much at Kent State, but you never know. All right. Let's look at our quarterbacks. So, like I said, I'm going to attempt. Do I even want a red shirt, Giovanni? Like I'm looking at it, and I don't think I do. I am gonna redshirt Landon Heath. I always recommend just physically redshirting the player. Don't try to just keep them in the depth chart and hope they don't get it, because a lot of times players will come in for like 1 or 2 snaps at the end of the game, even if it's a kneel down for the backup quarterback, and that'll count to a game play. Running back, I am gonna try to redshirt Isaiah Simmons, and hopefully he does not hate me. Wide receiver, the only 2 I was going to redshirt is Isaiah Gueron and Ephraim Leslie down here at the bottom. Just looking here, I think I want Henry as my second because his catching and route running is just so much better. I don't need Crane speed when I have Miles John. And then down here, I think I like where these are pretty much at. Cool. 6 wide receivers, I think, is fine. A lot of these guys won't see that. Honestly, for this first year, since we have a guy like Miles John up top, I kind of want to go down to 5 and just see where that kind of gets us. All right, tight ends. So Cooper O'Neal, obviously, going to redshirt for me. And this is pretty much the order. I feel bad for Ty Bunch here, but his blocking is just tragic. I think next year I'll probably move him to wide receiver just to see if he can get some reps there. But Overall, bit shaky there depth wise. So O line, the default is 8. That's perfectly fine where I like it. Brandon Peoples, you can redshirt. I'm honestly gonna redshirt so many of my backup O linemen, the ones with good potential, mainly, just so I get an extra year of development. Um, because I'm always of the opinion that you can never have too many O linemen. But yeah, I mean, just eyeballing this, the pass blocking is worse for every single linebacker except Elijah Soto and Armando Gupta. Everyone else has horrendous pass block. So that's just going to be something that we kind of have to live with here. I'm also going to drop it from 8 O linemen down to 7 so that I don't have to see 62 strength, 71 run block, 68 pass block. Micah Ryu take the field. Okay, D line. So Corey Crump, you can redshirt. Timothy Small, I don't really need redshirting. Let's redshirt Alan Alston. I mean, this is pretty much what I want. I mean, Malachi Calhoun, in all honesty, should be. I know the reason his overall is low is his strength is a 73. That hurts, but he's got 86 block shed, 76 tackling, so he'll move up a little bit. Caden Cruz just can't beat a block, which sucks. Um, yeah, I think this is pretty much the order I want. Man, Caden Cruz just isn't good as I'm looking at it here. Like, Rowan Seal should be ahead of Caden Cruz. So that drops Clark Bacon, who I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I like more. Caden Cruz, you're just not great. Anyway, D lineman, I think 6 is fine, especially because I'm running a 4-3. Linebacker, I'm gonna be honest. It's just miserable the whole way down. I am gonna try to redshirt a lot of these guys, like Braden Coley and Jasper Bradshaw. Ooh, and Darius Shaw, just to give me a little extra year for them. But linebacker, honestly, I'm moving to 5, which is the lowest amount you can go because, my God, look at this. Between these guys, though, none of them are really good in coverage besides Alexis Barton, who also subsequently is our worst tackler. That tracks. I'm just going to keep it in this order and hope and pray. Corner, I really like our corner room. The default is 5. I'm tempted, did I tell you, to move it to 6. Though, if I'm redshirting the sophomores, I don't think I really need to. Yeah, I'm fine with that. And then safety, I'm dropping it to 3. And I guess, let's try to redshirt Preston Vaughn and just see what happens. And then Marlon Smith is going to play over Ogden. And then kicker, Maxwell Welch. Punter, ooh, they have is Nakamura. And yeah, it should be Nakamura. Okay. And then return specialist Maelstrom. Cool. Depth chart is sorted. Now we can go to recruiting. Behold recruiting. You can read all this all you want. There is a new addition sort of a couple weeks ago in the early access period was recommended targets, where essentially you go in and the AI will find players relative to your needs, your prestige, where you are in the race for you to try and get. This is a really helpful screen, especially if you're new to recruiting and you don't really know where to go. One quick note on recruiting. In the game settings here, I have set the interest score to be the raw score and the battle points display to be the true value. What that means is I know exactly numerically, here, let me just find, yeah. So I know numerically that I'm 187 points behind Virginia Tech for Carlos Kearns. And I know that the interest in my school for this recruit is 78. If you prefer to have it be a little more fog of war, you want like, a range of 5 or 10, you can have different settings. I just prefer to see the actual raw number because I think it makes it a bit more interesting. But these are the players with the most interest in my school. There is no one above an 80 interest, which is fair. So the first thing I'm going to do, honestly, is only look at like the 3 stars because, as you can see, there's no real shot I get any 4-star. Like the guy I'm closest to on a 4-star, I would be about 600 points behind already with an interest of 42. So there's no way I'm getting a 5 or a 4-star. So just looking at the 3 stars here, the closest one I am to is Antony Carr. So what I like to do first things first is just identify my positions of need. Good news looking at this team, we need pretty much everything. I don't have a great succession plan at QB, so that's going to be a need. My running back room, I'm losing my top 2 guys. I like Isaiah Simmons, but again, running back, certainly a need. Wide receiver, in all honesty, I don't see as that big of a need in recruiting because I got a couple more years on guys like Henry Mallett, Joe Crawford. I have some decent potential guys that are going to redshirt behind. But again, it's year one. In year one, I recommend just going for every position under the sun. Tight end will be an exception. I think we're fine at tight end. Andrew Rutherford is gonna be good. Ty Bunch is gonna be good. We're okay. O line, always recruit O line. I don't care how many A's, A minuses, B plus you have. Always recruit O line. You can never have too many O linemen. Kicker, we're fine. We have a succession plan. I have 3 kickers. One of them is going to graduate. No real need to look for another one. D line, I need. Our potential depth isn't that great. And I'm not honestly in love with our top guys either. So, linebacker, we need all the help we can get. However, maybe not this year. I have a lot of young freshmen, redshirt freshmen. They're going to play a bunch next year. So linebacker might hold off. Corner, we need corner help. We don't really have a lot of redshirt freshmen or freshmen that looks like they'll pan out. So we need reinforcements. My logic with recruiting is always think 2 years in advance because realistically, the majority of guys I recruit and get commits from are going to redshirt. So always think 2-3 years in advance. Safety, yes, please. So the big needs I've written down: QB, running back, wide receiver, O line, D line, corner, safety. In other words, every single one except tight end, linebacker. With recruiting, in the summer, here, let me just give you an example. Let's just grab the top guy in the country. You get something called a camp visit. By letting a guy attend camp, you will know their potential. You will know a decent amount of what their specific ratings are. Obviously, I'm not going to send this guy to camp because his interest in me is 31 and he's like the best guy in the country. Let's not be silly. The way I do it is you get 4 camp visit phases, so you can send 40 players in total. I just pick 4 or 5 positions, send out. So first things first, let's look at the best position, the most fun, the quarterback. The guys with the highest interest are essentially 2 stars. There is a JUCO QB, which means you only get him for 2 years. You could get him for 3 if you redshirt, but with JUCO guys, that's a little shaky. It does look like, however, that Ohio is far ahead in this guy already. We already be 1,000 points behind, maybe not. The way to see, who I'm behind on or who I'm ahead on, points ahead with initial contact. So what this tells me is all I have to do is target him and I'll be ahead of the list. So first things first, I'm dropping the 1 stars just because for QB mathematically, give me the good guys, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, let's call it the top. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll grab the JUCO just because. 5, 6, and then I'll grab the other 3-star to give me 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send those 7 quarterbacks to camp. That way I know their potential next week and I get them the most amount of recruiting points. So that's quarterback done. Next was running back. We're just going to do the same thing. Points have initial contact. I already know a few of their potentials. And as you can see, they're not great. However, I'm already ahead on Braden Strong, so I might as well target him just so I can get the free scouting and see what his overall looks like. Next, I'm going to grab, let's say, the next 3 guys on the list. Throw in this guy because it looks like I'm close behind. And then we are going to send the 2 3-stars and eeny, meeny, miny, mo, the Hawaii kid. I say that. He's from San Diego. So that's that done and dusted. Now for wide receiver. We're just looking at points ahead, see where we're at. Is there any? Here, let me go interest really quick. So this guy I saw on the first page, Lawrence Duncan. He is B minus potential, and we're already 3rd on his list. So I'll target both him and I'll target Sam Horn here to see what they got. An important note when recruiting are these little symbols right here. The little price tag symbol means they value loyalty. So when they commit to you, they're unlikely to transfer. The star means a player wants to start, means they want to play. That also means that redshirting them gets a bit risky. So keep that in mind. You may have to make them a promise, whether it's playing time or money, to keep them. But wide receiver, honestly, isn't that much of a big need. So what I'm going to do is I'm mainly going to prioritize the 3-star guys here at the top. C plus potential. Ooh, 83 speed. Get in the room. Mainly just grab those guys. Next, offensive line. Look in here just to see my top 3-star guys and sort of where I'm at in the race. Ooh, this guy has B potential. Well, that'll do. And then D-line. I'll just grab the top 5. And then corner and safety I'll just do together since I view those positions pretty interchangeably. There are no corners on this first list, which is a beautiful sign. Oh boy, it looks like a lot of safeties, to be fair. A lot of really high overall guys are kind of interesting coming here. Let me grab this entire JUCO slate of safeties. They'll probably just play anywhere. All right, get out of here, JUCO guys. Then I'll grab, let's do these 2 safeties. Where are the corners? Does just no corner want to come to me? No, the highest is 50. Heck yeah. The corners, they see the way things are going. All right, so corner, it looks like it's going to be pretty hard for us to get one just based on where we're at with potential. But you know what? I'll look at a couple. All right, so that gets me 37 recruits. So I have sent the ones to camp that I want to send. I can then make pitches to get them points in the race. So say, for example, Lawrence Duncan, I really want. I'm going to give him the best pitch I can. Thankfully, the game highlights it in green, so you don't have to look at all the numbers. So you can give the guys the best pitches I can. The score that they each get, the amount you have, that's mainly determined by your coaching staff, and then how much interest a player has. If a player doesn't really want to come to your school, then your good pitch isn't going to do much compared to a different school. You might as well do a pitch to everybody that you can, just cause. But that's pretty much all you can do in the spring. Very simple. It's advanced the week. All right. Same thing, auto practice as is our want, and auto assign the trainings. Now, let's look at recruiting. So, since I sent all of those, oh, I didn't get a full scouting on them either. That's rough. Since I sent the quarterbacks to camp, I'm a decent way toward knowing their overall. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to scout them all once to get their potential. And as you can see, it's not great. Ooh, until the end, Ashton Morgan A potential. Okay. Um, I think then I'm pretty much gonna eliminate. Yeah, I mean everyone on this list except the B minus and A potential guy. And then what I'll do is I'll scout this guy a couple more times just to get a little better idea. Fair. I mean he's not A potential. Welcome to Kent State if we can get him in. All right, so now I can send 10 more. Let's do I think running backs and wide receivers, just to get them a little bit of movement. I sent some of these guys to camp already. Some of them I already know the overalls, but it still might be good to send them because the camp invite gets you the highest numerical value of hit. So can't really hurt. And then I'll just throw the points at all the rest of the guys I can. But yeah, this is essentially how I do recruiting in the spring and summer. And then usually I'll know potential, I'll know where everyone's at in the race. I'll cull the list down a little bit. I'm annoyed at going to a third page, so you I'm just going to get rid of. And to be fair, you have good coverage. Who do I want to kick to the curb? You, get out. There we go. Back to 2 pages now. So I think next I'll probably send the JUCO safety group. So that is that. And then every week throughout the spring and summer, your recruit list will get shrunken and shrunken and shrunken as you eliminate players and so on. Usually, most AI recruiting classes are in the mid 20s in terms of players. I usually shoot for a little bit lower number just so that I can have space for transfers. Okay, so by now we know the potential of a lot of the guys, with the exception of the safeties. So let me invite the safety group to camp. Congrats. It's going to be a fun little camp there. And I have 2 invites left, I think. 1. I did the math wrong. So what I can do now also in the summer is I can schedule a visit with this recruit, but he's got 59 overall C minus potential. He's not looking like he's going to be that good. C minus potential, I'm not against at Kent State, but his overall starts as a 56. That's pretty low. So just make sure you're keeping your eye out for when you can schedule those visits, especially because, if you have a lot of home games early, when it gets to like week 1 or week 2, you want to be able to schedule the guys that you can. Man, why do you have to have F potential? 71 overall over here. Killing me. I can schedule the running back. Let's see his potential here. Not great. I think I'm going to cut him from the list, which, feels rude. Ooh! My scouts have identified that this man is a hidden gem, Mr. Seth Vogel. Yeah, I mean, he's not bad. I like them both, honestly. So in an ideal world, if I can get both players, we'll be in business. All right, let me give the pitches that I can. All right, and that's summer one, so we have one more. One more summer phase here. Auto do the practices. Also, did that say I got a first down on this play? Nice. Auto assign the training. Okay, so at this point, I should know the potential of almost everyone. So let's do a quick scout for the guys that I don't know. And now we can begin sort of chopping the list down to size. With the JUCO guys, I don't care that much about potential because I'm only going to get him for 2 years anyway. Maybe 3 if I redshirt, but again, dangerous game. So I don't know the potential of everyone, which is a bit annoying. So let me send the ones I don't to camp if I can. I can send one. Good job, buddy. Hi. First things first, let's go back to the whole recruit list and just see if there is anyone with really high interest that looks good that we maybe missed. I mean, this kicker is pretty good. Get in the building, sir. I mean, he would start for me, you kidding? Anyway, just make sure there's no one here that ratings look really good that I maybe missed. Ooh, a potential hidden. Get in the building, sir. A lot of kickers want to come to my school. Is that the game telling me that my kicking room is worse than I thought? Probably, to be fair. All right, let's just see if anyone else here. Is maybe looking good, but at the moment it doesn't look great. Oh, lineman with B potential, get in the building. I say that. He has 47 run block. 52? No. 52 overall is so low. You know what? Maybe he explodes. For the bit, I'll keep him. But I don't really want to be fair. Ricky Cross, you want to be a star. Well, I got bad news, buddy. He has 52 IQ. Is that problem? Larry Forbes are out to list B minus speed, C plus catching. Could be worse. Okay. So I'm back up to 32. Let's look really quick, position by position, and just cut the list down. QBs, I already know who I'm going with. Seth Vogel and Ashton Morgan. It looks like I can schedule visits with both. The smartest thing I recommend with visits is either if you think a team will be ranked, schedule, because you get more points if you both play a ranked team or beat them. And B, if the team you're going up against is also on their list in the running. So the only other MAC school that's in here is Northern Illinois. And unfortunately, it looks like we either don't play them or it's an away game. So in that case, I want to get as late a visit as possible. So Vogel is going to play week 9, home game against Bowling Green. And Ashton Morgan is going to be against Toledo in week 11. So those are the two QBs I'm going after. All right, let's look at running backs. So running back room is grim. There is no way around it. I don't love a lot of it. I think Kellen Chamberlain is the one I like the most. Damian Logan, even though we're ahead on him and no one's really interested, we're going to remove that from the list. Israel, I mean, F plus potential is just too low. So I think right now these are going to be the two running backs we go in on, but we may have to find a plan C quick. Wide receiver room looked really, really good when I saw it earlier. I mean, he has speed, but he can't really catch, which is kind of a problem. Whereas Rylan Decker is going to have B minus catching and that'll pair better. So I think beach, let's bounce. I can schedule a visit with Sam Horn, Akron, or Bowling Green. Bowling Green, get in the building. Cool. Lawrence Duncan, I like the receiver group a lot. I think Marcus Woodard I will remove and instead focus on these three guys. Yeah, the receiver room looks good. All right, let's look at O-line really quick. Oh, no. Well, this makes me want to weep and then die. Hodge is definitely out. Joshua Cohen. His 66 strength might be the best of these three, which is the saddest thing I have ever heard. But no, he's out. And then, I mean, I'll hold on to him until I can scout him a bit more, but obviously the priority is like Xavier Morgan and 47 run block. Guys. Yeah, we're gonna need to look elsewhere, I think, for O linemen. Our kicker buddy, Carlos Kearns. All right, D line. Yeah, I didn't get a lot of D linemen here. I'm not going to schedule a visit with you because I don't know your potential. Brooks, I'll schedule at the Ohio game since they're on his list. Demetrius Mirza, I'll just wait. Linebacker, the only one I got was the A potential guy. So I'll just send him to camp. Corner. Ooh, yeah. Corner group looks good. Wow, this Bowling Green is going to look like a pretty popular game, I guess. We better beat them. If we lose, we're in trouble. And then Huron, I will have visit Ohio. And then, hello, my JUCO safety contingent. How are we doing today? You are a corner, sir. Okay. So of this group, I think what we lack in our safety room is just overall skill, but mainly tackling ability. So I'm gonna drop Cooper Butler. River Pruitt D- is grim. But he's probably a corner. I'll honestly keep on all these JUCO guys and see how it shakes out in a week or so. All right, I have one spare pitch remaining. Whom shall I give it to? Oh, I didn't target either of my... I'm a genius. Hello. You get an okay pitch. You get a great pitch, and then Vogel can get the good one. Okay. That is recruiting. Done and dusted. I can send a couple people more to camp, but I don't think I really need to. So, let's save it advance to the preseason. Expectations. All right, our AD opinion is 50 because, we just got here. And the season expectation is to win 4 games. Fair enough. We have 2 donors. And the first donor will write us a check for $5.25 million. All we have to do is beat Akron. Fair enough. The gold donor is 4.5 for having 3,100 pass yards on the season. That's difficult to do. The 29 total passing touchdowns, even more so. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit less money, but I'll go for pass for 205 yards against Buffalo. So that's going to need to happen. So currently, here's our schedule coming into the season, and the AI handled the out of conference scheduling this year. That's why we're playing number 7 Baylor in week 5, which is kind of crazy. Here's how our roster looks. We are 93rd in the country in offensive talent with 81. We are 114th in the country in defensive talent with 79. Um, as I said before, I think this team is going to live and die on defense by simply getting to the quarterback and trying not to get destroyed in coverage, because our zone coverage is horrendous. But that is what it is. All right, let us save and advance the week. And we are now in week 1. Like I said, this is going to be a shorter stream. I think probably my shortest one yet, where all I wanted to do is just get to the offseason and then play the first game. So that brings us to Stanford. But first things first, let's go back to recruiting. Now that I know all of those safeties' potential, let me take a quick look at all of them. So again, potential doesn't matter that much for the JUCO guys, but I still want to make sure I have a decent idea of where they're all at. So I'm going to scout them all decently heavily around the 80% mark, and then I'll give you a scout. Okay. So of these 4, I really need to prioritize like which one I want to go for, because I think going for multiple will probably backfire. The one I think I'm out on the most is Malik Lewis. He has great zone coverage, but his tackling is not up to par with any of the others. And that's something we really need at safety right now. Though zone cover, being a good zone cover guy wouldn't hurt, in all honesty. Jamari Stevenson looks to be the most kind of well-rounded of the JUCO players, though I like Miles Ryan a lot. So I think Dante is also going to drop. So I think I'll prioritize Miles Ryan and Jamari Stevenson. River Pruitt, I already know that if I get him, he is moving to corner. If we do secure his signature, Draven Roberts would play like year 1. You kidding me? So I'm going to offer all 4 of these safeties, and I can schedule visits here. Akron, get in the building. And Akron again. Though I don't want to get punished for having 2 guys, so Stevenson, you're coming to the Miami of Ohio again. I have spoken. All right, and then I'll do my pitches here for these guys. Yeah, I mean, Draven Roberts. I mean, Clemson. Yeah, I'm not going to get Roberts. No. I was so far behind those guys. That wasn't even funny. Okay. I'll do these a couple positions at a time just so it doesn't take a calendar year. I'm definitely going to offer both of my quarterbacks. That goes without saying. I will also shamelessly offer them money, because you can offer NIL money. We get $5 million, and by God, it might go to a quarterback. Do I want to offer Braden Strong or Chamberlain? I'm gonna be honest with you, like I think Braden Strong's a little more iffy for me. I think on balance, I like Chamberlain, but I will offer both men. And I will schedule Chamberlain in the Ohio game, I think, or Toledo. I'll schedule him in Toledo. Okay. And that brings me to the wide receiver group. Hello, lads. Wow, I still don't know this dude's potential. That kind of worries me. It's fine. Lawrence Duncan, I really, really want. You can also go to the Ohio game. Let's offer him. Sam Horn is definitely getting offered without question. Akron has also already scheduled a visit with him. So that's a bit scary here. I mean, Larry Forbes, it looks like I'm the only school in on him, really. So getting him and Decker would not hurt in the slightest. So that'll do. Okay, O line and our kicker boy. Hmm. I mean, 53 overall is just so low. Like, it actually hurts me. Like, I'll offer Anthony Carr because we're going to get him no matter what anyway. I'll offer Shannon because why the heck not? Xavier Morgan, I definitely need to offer. Kyle Jennings, I think I'll let the other teams fight for. And then Carlos Kearns is getting an offer sheet. I don't think we'll be able to get Carlos, but it would be cool. It's a pretty good kicker. All right, D line. Hello, chums. Oh boy, Mizra's potential is a C minus. It's worse than Weeks. Yeah, I'll schedule a visit with Mizra. D line, you can come to the Miami of a game, buddy. And then Marsh, you can come to the Ohio game. All right, linebacker Clarence, offer you certainly, without question. Get in the building. And then our two corner boys, we'll be offering them as well. Okay, so right now our recruit list sits at 21. I've scholarshiped most of the guys. I forgot to schedule a visit with Xavier Morgan. Let's do the Bowling Green game. All right, everybody else has a visit. Cool. Okay. That's recruiting done and dusted. Now we're going up against Stanford, who in this universe is in the Pac 10. Pretty good school. They are 83 offensive talent, 83 defense. So similarly on offense, but their defense is just much better. So our focus as a team on offense is just going to be running the ball and stopping their passing game, as is our want. Gonna be honest, I'm expecting to lose this game. But what I want is just a good old fashioned knockdown, drag out, fisticuffs brawl. For those who are unaware with the MAC, usually the MAC championship game is played between a team that's 6-6 and a team that's 7-5. It is an amazing league because every team is about on the same page as each other. There are a few exceptions, Ball State being one that's not that great, really, ever, except a couple years ago. But yeah, I mean, really, it's a league that anyone can make the championship game. Pretty much everyone has 3 or 2 prestige, with the exception of Toledo. Anyone can do it. Might as well be us. So, but first, before that gets started, we're going up against Stanford. Stanford is only projected to win by 7, which is quite the thing. They have 1 recruit visiting this game. And obviously, the teams have not played each other in the sim. All right, let's rock and roll, play this game. As a general rule, we call tails because it never fails. Case in point. We are going to defer, as is our want. Now, this is the play screen that I prefer, where it has score, up top, field, previous play calls, your playbook over here on the left. If you want to full screen it and see everything in sort of one zone, that is also available. I'm not a huge fan of the screen. I think it feels a little cluttered to me, but it is available as an option. Now, as is our want on defense at the beginning of every game, we will do a Thunder Smoke Blitz and we will send them. And it worked. Andy Meyer with a sack on quarterback Brentwood. We're so back. We're going to be doing man coverage more often than not. And one thing I did forget to check is, can their quarterback run? Firstly, no, he can't. Secondly, 114 arm strength? First of all, I didn't even know it could get up that high. That's the first blue I've ever seen. Second of all, he's a redshirt sophomore. What's his arm gonna? I'm writing his name down just so I can check next year. That is actually insane. Anyway, back to the game. So he has a cannon. So we're gonna get 2-eye safety more often than not. Oh, and they get a 20-yard curl pass anyway. Fair enough. We blitz. Blitz doesn't work. They have yet to run the ball, which, fair. I kind of respect it. 3rd and 2. Now I bet they run. I'm just going to keep blitzing. And Landon Dixon only gets 1 yard. And Stanford punts. The moral victory goes to Kent State. And I'm turning shoe clock on immediately because it feels like one of those games that I'm going to need it. In my previous save on the first offensive play of a game, we would run the slot out to deep pass, but that does not exist in this playbook. So instead, the new tradition, posts. It didn't work. Incomplete pass. All right. We do have a lot of option runs available, and you know what we're going to do. Read option on the second play. It got us 1 yard. We're so back. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Slants on 3rd and 9. Send it. Now incomplete. 3rd now, and they have beautiful field position as they got a 23-yard punt return. Must be nice to get those. All right, 3rd and 6. Bringing the safety down this time. Well, and the curl gets us. The corner got burned. That's unfortunate. And Stanford takes the lead. All right. The Y corner works. We are going to need some help. Baxter, 19 yards. That'll play. That'll do. The stretch works. 14 yards. Now is the time to burn them with a play action. I'm a genius play caller. All right, we're already in Stanford's red zone. Looking pretty good. The incompletion is not so good. 3rd and 4, we're doing the option. Power option. Send it. 0-yard rush from Hawkins. We will settle for a field goal. And Maxwell banks it. Blitz. Isaiah Reynolds with the sack. I'm liking the couple sacks already. What I'm not liking is our corners seem to get killed on crow flats every play. That one is a little less than ideal. I'm going to be bold and try a zone. They got 8 yards. It's the last time I try zone ever again. Blitz, send it. Nah, they got it. The corner blitz there was an inspired play call. Yeah, I mean, our defense is honestly doing a little better than I would have thought. I say that, and they give up a 22-yard pass on 3rd and 10. Less than ideal. All right, Jay Pierce this time around gets the sack. But they scored the touchdown on 3rd and 7. They beat our blitz. Good on them. We're down early. We are down early and often. 14-3. The read option works there. Esteban Coates getting involved. The mesh play did not work. I mean, I'm going to go for it here on 4th and 2 because, between me and you might as well. We don't get it. Esteban got 1 yard. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. I wanted to make Esteban the fullback. And also Yeah, I think just the fullback is fine. All right, well, we turned it over on downs, which has made an ugly game start to look even uglier. Jay Pierce with another sack. My God. And they convert on 3rd and 15. They say it can't get any worse, and then seemingly it keeps getting worse as we are now down 21-3. I had such high hopes after that first drive. Such high hopes. All right, we're going to need to get some work going here. Establish the old run. I am not going to do 4 verts. I will, however, do a read option. There we go, 12 yards. The jet sweep. It worked, seems. All right, let's try to get in the end zone. Jeremiah, please, Jeremiah. Yeah, they banned our blitz. Our defense is crumbling, y'all. We're in trouble. I'm switching to zone here. The mistake was made. I should have kept the blitz. Well, this couldn't really get much worse, which means an interception is probably coming. 2-minute warning sounds. We're going to switch to up tempo here just to try to get some manner of points. Doesn't look like that'll be happening, though, and we must punt. All right. Hey, the blitz got burned. That coverage got burned. It's not looking too good. We hauled them to a field goal. Hosan in the highest. Jeremiah Carr went backwards. Here's a question. Did Kylan Baxter get injured? Because Jeremiah Carr has gotten most of the runs recently, and that makes me a little worried. But I'm sure it's fine. As he goes backwards for -1 yard. Yeah, I think Baxter got hurt. That is a big problem. Oh, no, Baxter's back in. Then why was... I'm not going to ask questions. Incompletion. What is Hawkins' completion percentage right now? 6 of 14. 90 accuracy. The defense rests. Oh boy, they're just killing us right now. They are killing us. All right, 3rd and 1. Send the house. The house worked. Now we're only down by 31. Hey, Miles John's 40-yard kickoff return. We have life. Oh, we had life. Now we're looking a little shaky. I mean, 48-yarder, we're just going to go for it. There's no real reason to kick a field goal right now. Hi, we're Joe Crawford with a 9-yard reception. There we go. 40-yarder. All right, he made that one. It was 4th and 10. At that point, I'll take the points, but yeah, it's not looking good here. Oh, the end around. They got us at the perfect time. Well, they're up by 35 points, and we have to punt once again. The fourth quarter has just started, so it's not looking good. They're just having their way with us on the ground, and it's very mean, very rude. All right, let's just see if we can get a successful drive going. That's my goal. Triple option. It worked. Jeremiah Carr did good work. We're at midfield. 10-yard rush. Play action over the top. We're at the 6. We're at the 5. We're in the end zone. Miles John's 5-yard touchdown reception. Our first touchdown of the save. And they convert on 3rd and 7. You know what? That does track. I'm going to call a timeout here on 4th down just in case we return the punt for a touchdown. We did not. He fair caught it. All right. Let's do one more speed option for the road. 10-yard rush. All right. Well, overall, I think we can all agree that was a massacre. Um, I think the two big numbers that stand out, one, they averaged 9 yards per pass attempt. They had 9 plays of 20 yards or more. Our defense just got completely eviscerated. Third down, we were 2 of 10. They were 7 of 12. So that'll pretty much do it. But I mean, there was a stretch here where like we turned it over on down, fumbled, punt, punt, field goal, punt. Like nothing doing there. Hawkins, 11 to 24, 95 yards, 1 touchdown. Baxter had a really good game, 15 carries, 104 yards. Carr wasn't great. Coates wasn't great. But yeah. Yeah, it's not good. Defensively, 5 sacks. You know how many times my Purdue defenses or Clemson defenses got 5 sacks? It wasn't many. And O-line did well. They didn't sack us once. They only had 6 tackles for loss. I mean, O-line did good. Our offense just couldn't get anything going, and our pass coverage was Swiss cheese. But it's what it is. You can't always win the first game you're safe. So we lose our first game to Stanford. Let's be frank, as expected. Now we had an injury. Tyler Walton is out for 2 weeks. His overall dropped to a 73. His pass block is now a 59, which is a bit disconcerting. So I think what I'll just do, since it's only a 2-week injury, is just drop him all the way to the bottom. But that hurt, man. That did indeed hurt. All right, but I am going to stop it there. Like I said, much shorter stream today. I just wanted to kind of get into it, get through the off season, make a little shorter video for the YouTube. But thank you all for watching. If you are new to Football Coach College Dynasty, I highly recommend it. It's a great game, really, really fun. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Happy to have you. If you're returning from someone who watched the early access saves, welcome back. Thank you for your viewership. I try to stream, get videos out twice a week. That's usually my goal. I've been pretty good with it. Holiday period notwithstanding. And that's my goal here. So I'll try to get 2 videos up next week as we continue through this first season with Kent State. So thank you all for watching, whether live or on the VOD, which again can be found on Twitch or YouTube. Both channels, the same name, Turnover Carbon. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.